Support for this episode of the PowerCast comes from Mark Bell's Slingshot. Check out the all-new website at howmuchyoubench.net. Bench heavy with no pain with Mark Bell's Slingshot. Powerlifting apparel for people who lift heavy-ass weight from 8manstrong.com. NaturalOrganics.com, the official home of Urban Ice Organics Kratom. Keep your mind and body synchronized. Head over to NaturalOrganics.com. That's NaturalOrganix.com. Chimera Coffee is a premium high-altitude coffee infused with nootropics. Nootropics are brain vitamins that help promote focus, cognition, memory, and mental health. Grab some Chimera Coffee to enhance your mental and physical edge at chimeracoffee.com. That's Kimera, coffee with a K.com. And bodybuilding.com. Bodybuilding.com is the world's #1 fitness website and supplement store. Bodybuilding.com has free fitness plans for every fitness level. Visit bodybuilding.com today to become your best self. In episode 156, we discussed some of the issues related to CrossFit's decision to offer handguns as prizes for the games this year, even though Reebok and ESPN are not thrilled about it. The CrossFit Games, by the way, are going on this week. You can catch Mark and Mike in the Slingshot booth in the Vendor Village. We break down some funny and startling Instagram posts, and we talk about Eddie Hall's huge 1,102-pound deadlift. Do us a favor and like and share this video, and enjoy number 156.
Be like, oh, and it's done. Okay, and goodbye, and hello.
And bye.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thanks. Okay, bye forever. Let's talk about CrossFit Games, Instagrammies.
Recorded live at Super
We got some Instagrammy awards.
California. This
I haven't
is
seen it. Cena was in it?
PowerCast. Alongside Silent
Was he
Mike
good?
and Jim McD.
I thought
Here's
he was
your
funny,
host,
but the crowd
Mark
wasn't
Bell.
accepting him in the beginning. It was
It's
a little,
yeah.
it's a tough crowd.
John's humor is pretty dry, and he just kind of plows through.
So he plowed through a lot, and then also
So they might not have known he was joking.
when he was getting really touchy. I think he crossed the line a little too much in terms of like he made jokes of like Dwight Howard just got signed with Atlanta, and he said something. He's like, "That's your problem now, Atlanta." Like Dwight Howard's in the audience, like you know, like I get it's a joke, but like he probably has some friends in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, so you walk the line. You want to make fun of somebody, but like maybe make fun of someone who's retired. Like he made fun of Kobe.
I think it would take a little while for people to see the real Cena and then realize how funny he is. Like when you see the movie Trainwreck,
It's hilarious.
He's pretty much like that all the time.
The other thing
it's about
too,
as real as it gets.
Is it felt like he obviously probably did, but he had
Right.
writers,
Right.
you know, so like it felt like kind of a beginner stand-up bit, but it was funny.
Right.
But the whole show was really
That's
good.
got to be hard to get up there and do that shit.
Impossible to a crowd full of Kobe Bryants and fucking Jim Brown. Like he made a Cleveland joke, I think, in Jim Brown, and the camera goes to Jim Brown. And he looks so grumpy.
That's great. That's awesome.
Oops.
I read.
That's great. Good for him, man, getting that gig though. That's fucking.
It was cool.
awesome.
That's how he started it, which was probably the funniest part. He's like, you think the SB's biggest sports deal of the world, they'd get a Kevin Hart, maybe The Rock, but they got a fake wrestler. You know? It was funny.
That's great.
I read on the internets.
You're on the interweb?
Yeah, every day, all day.
Pornhub, tell us about it. HD.
I was reading Pornhub. They're known for their articles now.
Are you tapping into a Smokey subscription like I do?
The 4K.
Yeah.
I pay for the 4K.
Yeah, those are
and
great. Those are wild.
Unlimited hours.
Wow.
That's more detail than I'm really looking for.
I know. All the
What about
orifices at that point kind of look the same.
Virtual reality.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Oh, like Pokemon?
All over
It's coming.
Instead of catching Pokemon, you're out there catching titties?
What if you whip your phone out and you just see whoever you want naked?
Yeah.
And I just look at you.
Yeah.
And I can touch you, but in my phone, you are somebody else.
You just made $1 billion.
They're making a shit ton of money with Pokemon
yes.
Go.
I
Holy
actually talked about this with a couple people. Like I actually think it is genius.
Oh, it's totally genius.
Yeah.
Because if you're a business, you can actually like spawn them at your place.
Yeah.
So people will come
you can
there.
get people to move around, too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. All the jokes. I mean, there's already memes out like before and after pictures of guys getting jacked.
Being all ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no, but it is true. You're playing a video game, but you're moving.
You're not paying attention to what's going on around you, though. I'll tell you that's
Yeah.
Which is already an
You're
issue.
going to get
though.
hit by a goddamn bus.
Yeah, it's already an issue. People texting or whatever, tweeting.
Yeah, I was at one of the brew pubs here, New Helvetia, yesterday, and they're like there are Pokemon there.
Yeah,
Like, it's people showing up.
It's crazy
for
how fast stuff can blow up.
Yeah.
Like
Really
that
fast.
fucking just came
4
out of nowhere.
days,
Like,
what's
boom.
I don't know. Thursday or Wednesday when I was in New Orleans with Marcus, I saw Callie post about it on Instagram. That's Aunt Cookie Callie, and I downloaded right away because like that's my. I think they're targeting me. Like I played Pokemon for like 4 years from 3rd grade to 6th grade, addicted as a mother to it. So then now you see it again, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna play it. And then
have you done it yet?
So me and Marcus got in the hotel.
In other news, I saw the mini Nintendo's being released. You guys see that with like 16 games on it?
Already on it.
Yeah.
That's smart.
That's fucking great.
Well, the Nintendo's like appraisal or whatever went up like fucking $3 billion or something
in 4 days.
Yeah, something stupid.
It was insane.
I read last year. I think we talked about it on the podcast too. That I think they did a deal with iPhone where you're going to be able to download some of those games on iPhone coming up. I don't know if that ever actually happened or if it was just the internet. Yeah, you buy Mario Kart on your
goddamn
fucking iPhone.
Mario.
Yeah, you'll be done for.
Not that I use them, but I understand that not only with T-Mobile, if you're like streaming Netflix and stuff like that, they don't charge that against your data limit. Pokemon Go, they're not going to charge against your data limit either.
They're going to monetize the shit out of
What if I hopped in my fucking Escalade and you were driving in front of me and you had balloons on the back of your car?
And you could just
I could fucking bump into you and knock the turtle shells off.
We should be able to make up a real game that way.
Yeah, be amazing.
It's such a good game.
Shoot some shit at you.
Throwing shells and bananas.
Trying to see if there are any Pokemon here at the gym.
Anyway, you were on the internet. I went on the whole porn.
No, it's great, and Pokemon is amazing. So I'm on the internet. I'm reading articles on the books and everywhere else. Typically, the CrossFit Games, it's coming up next week or this week. I don't know when the hell
this is like going. About my 5th time going in a row. I might might want to add in
you and
mix.
You and Ben Smith have almost been the same amount of times.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they give away obviously $250,000 to the winner. I've heard 10 or 15. I mean, don't quote me on all these numbers, but about 15 grand if you win an event. I think if you come in first place, and then second and third place get different things. And then I think Rogue makes an awesome belt at the end that says like first place or something.
Like a championship.
Yeah, which is fucking cool.
They get a certain like shirt too. The guy wears like a gold shirt or black shirt. Or I can't remember what it was.
During the week you wear a white shirt if you're winning, and then at the end you get a shirt or whatever.
Like the green jacket at the Masters.
Kind of. Yeah, which is cool. They've done a good job of some of that stuff. Like they from the beginning said this is the fittest man. Is he the fittest man? You can argue like there's fit is relative.
Yeah.
But the world's strongest man is called the strongest man. That's also relative. Right. Arm wrestler could be the strongest arm wrestler. Whatever.
Right, it was like Stan was the world's strongest bodybuilder because that's what the competition was called.
Right. And also it's great for gymnasts. Gymnasts are really strong for their body weight or whatever. Right.
It's just great branding though. They do well. Yeah. And so I think. Don't quote me again. These are all just random facts that are in my head. So
Mike's
internet
facts are always accurate.
Yeah, these are all like 60% accurate. I believe CrossFit's only like true partners are Reebok and Rogue partners.
Right.
But this year for winning, the winners of the team and the winners of individuals are each going to get a Glock.
Yeah, and they get to shoot the people who came in last. Is that right?
I haven't heard that yet, but I'm sure that's on a Facebook thing too.
You're only as strong as your weakest link.
Yeah, so they're getting guns.
Right.
And so this is obviously, I have zero opinion on it.
Who put this up? 50 Cent?
Yeah, 50 Cent is now writing the final day of workouts. But with everything that's going on, something just happened in Paris 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was not gun related, which is another argument.
Yeah. It actually was because the driver of that truck actually had guns and was firing at the crowd as he was driving through.
That's pretty bad too.
Yeah.
But everyone's argument is always like guns kill people or people kill people or whatever. Like it's true. Are you going to outlaw?
Can't
trucks?
We all just play laser tag instead?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, can't
so
we all
much
just be
cleaner.
happy?
So much cleaner.
Grab some Ben and Jerry's and be friends.
So what? The question you're maybe asking is it politically incorrect for them to do that? Absolutely. Do I think they give a shit? No.
Is it politically incorrect in any circumstance or? Considering what the hell is going on recently, is it a little weird?
It is a little weird. I think if it was a competition that involved guns and you were given a gun,
so
that
happens all the time.
That's a gimme.
So I did.
That's a gimme.
I did a competition shooting thing with Bart. Obviously, we entered the competition. I shot a pistol like twice. So I go slow. I'm obviously never going to win because it's like golf. It's like a race.
Right.
But the winner of that wins some fancy Glock.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Right.
Winner of powerlifting, maybe you get some wrist wraps. Maybe at a big meet you get a barbell or some money. Makes sense. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Sometimes they might do an offshoot trophy of a sword or something weird, right?
But that's
not too weird.
It is still actually kind of weird when you think about it. But I think that's just more, I don't know why, but that's now tradition, right? Bodybuilding, I think strongman and powerlifting. Sometimes you'll get an axe or a sword, which actually, I guess, is actually a great point.
It's a weapon.
Yeah, it's a fucking weapon.
It is a weapon.
That's completely unrelated to what we're doing. And then now CrossFit is giving away a Glock, which is obviously an advancement of a
Right.
sword, but still,
Well,
it's all a little weird.
And the
and-
swords are not really like swords.
Yeah.
They're not. You're not gonna.
Yeah,
cut,
yeah.
They're not sharp. They're not going to cut anybody.
you can injure anybody with a bat as well.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you probably win a bat in the
Yeah.
MLB, but
Yeah.
Silver Slugger. It's
Yeah.
So
I guess the disconnect is kind of just what you guys are saying. Like, you can probably bet your ass that most of the people watching NASCAR probably own guns. You know,
yeah.
And the winner of like the NASCAR race, even though there's no gun involved, I mean, they're not going to make that stretch to like, hey, the guy wins,
Right.
$500,000 and he wins a fucking
there might be
gun and wins.
There might be a raffle in the crowd for one, but that's another story altogether.
Yeah.
Exactly. That might be more appropriate. Might make more sense. In this case, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. In my opinion.
It's just a political statement.
Right.
Maybe
in my mind.
So
I don't know.
I read an article and someone actually got a hold of Dave Castro. Maybe you could look it up, Jim, so I don't fuck this actual quotations up too
Dave
much.
Castro, former Marine, I believe.
Yeah, he was a Navy SEAL for 12 years.
Navy SEAL. There we go.
Obviously likes guns. He's posted videos on his thing about guns, but so have other guys. There's videos of Rich Froning and
Right.
Matt Frazier and some of these other top level athletes shooting guns. I forgot who interviewed him, but whoever interviewed him, it was well outside of CrossFit. But one of the questions was, do you think this has to do with like the culture of CrossFit kind of deal? Obviously,
So
I'm not quoting him. I think this is it.
So to get really off topic and really weird, people have even talked about the fittest on Earth being the people that survive Earth, period.
True.
Yeah.
And, going along with the gun and the survival and the tactical, like we just had Tony here doing the real world tactical type stuff. So maybe somebody made that stretch to think like, these could possibly be the human beings that survive. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there from stuff that I've heard, being said before.
I think what Dave Castro said in this was Glock is not a partner by any means of CrossFit. Dave Castro is friends with high-level competition shooters because that's his hobby.
Right.
And one of those guys has a connection to Glock, the company. And Glock said, hey, we think it would be cool if we could give some prizes to the CrossFit winners. Is that okay? And he kind of said yes. The other part of that is there was a question like, oh, is CrossFit, this doesn't fit CrossFit culture? Meaning, and we're kind of outsiders, even though we're well inside of CrossFit as well, the three of us. But, meaning, I guess, paleo and functional fitness and whatever you want to fucking call it. And Castro says you're wrong, basically. CrossFit, and these are not quotes, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fucking fuck me up. But he basically says like, no, CrossFit's for everybody. We have everybody in here.
Right.
We do have a base in military, a police, but we also have soccer moms. We have probably what he was getting at. He did not say this. He was getting at we have Democrats, we have Republicans, we have everybody doing CrossFit. This is a fucking workout program. This isn't a political movement.
The other thing is I'm unaware, and most of the people are unaware of how many prizes and how much stuff these CrossFitters actually get.
That's correct.
I'm only aware of what Reebok gives them,
Right,
and
which is a
Reebok
pretty
gives
good
them
goodie bag.
a tremendous amount of product, and then there's a lot of other product thrown in the mix there too. I was even part of that. We even had slingshot type products and a lot of other products,
Protein bars, whatever else.
Yeah, protein bars, and yes, they are things that do fit that mold.
Yeah.
But I think just due to like where we're at now, that this is kind of the one that's striking up the most controversy. It is weird when you kind of talk about, there's going to be this amount of money, and there's going to be some of these prizes where they seem pretty large, and then I don't know how much a gun costs, but it doesn't sound like it would be that prestigious of a thing.
I don't know what a Glock costs. I think $1,000 maybe.
I'll look it up in just a second.
Yeah.
Here's what his quote was.
Here's the quote.
Get him,
Jim.
I participate in pistol shooting competitions, and from that sport, I have met CrossFitters who also participate in the sport. One of them is the captain of the Glock shooting team. He mentioned a few months ago that Glock would be interested in giving guns to the winners. I agreed that would be a nice gift to them. Back to his thing. He says he isn't concerned about the criticism. From what I've seen in my social media, there are a lot of people against it, a lot of people in support of it. Guns are illegal in the U.S. and all 50 states, so there is nothing illegal or wrong about giving one here. But the really interesting thing is this is not the first time they've given away guns. They did it in 2009 as well. So
was 2009 still the ranch, you think,
I think
Smelly?
so,
yeah,
yeah.
still the
Which I would say maybe then, this is my personal opinion now, that maybe does fit the thing, right?
Right.
You're in a fucking farm in
Yeah.
the middle of like Santa Cruz or something, and you're flipping hay bales for a fitness competition. That maybe fits a Glock a little bit better than now.
Yeah.
You're on ESPN. There's
Right.
multi-million-dollar deals going on with these other companies, brands,
Right.
athletes are training full-time. it just seems to me now it would be a little weird if the NBA gave away Glocks for the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. It would be.
I mean, if CrossFit's trying to get
That
on
would really stir some shit up, that's for sure.
yeah.
Maybe one of them can shoot himself in the leg in a
So
club.
there was a
like,
Cavalier.
Well, that brings up a whole other
Go to
topic
jail
because
for a year.
CrossFit is very white, and
Yeah,
NBA
it
is
is.
not. You know, so that brings
Yeah.
up a whole other scenario.
Yeah, there's a deal with the Cavaliers. I don't know. Within the last 10 years, where a guy was riding a motorcycle with a shotgun and like a guitar case on his back, and got arrested. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
don't.
was Plaxico Burress that shot himself in the thigh.
Plaxico Burress shot himself in
Yeah.
the thigh in a club. Look, race. I don't give a shit, but it is involved in all this. Obviously, that's what's like fucking steaming all this from one way or another.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's African American police officers and Mexican police officers, and there's white criminals. But
Right.
it all does. We're all talking about perception of this move, not
Right,
the politicals of this move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could care less about it one way or the other. Honestly,
same.
it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it is bad timing. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think the optics are very good relative to it, but they're going to do what they're going to do. It's
true.
It's a statement, regardless, and saying that it's not a statement is ingenuous.
So he said,
disingenuous.
I guess in a different article, this might be a different one actually. He did say like, no, this is not a political statement.
Yeah, whatever. I don't buy that for a second.
It's a little different if they do it every year since 2009.
Yeah, I agree with that. If it's not a different behavior, and who knows? I mean, this stuff takes a long time to develop.
That's true.
No,
So-
so I believe he said that in the other one as well. He said this was in
It takes
the works.
months and months to come to those.
CrossFit's huge,
Sometimes
Reebok's huge.
years.
He could have made this deal a year ago,
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
don't doubt him either way.
But you can always back out of
yeah,
stuff,
it might
too.
be time to revoke that idea.
I don't know.
One quick thing before we move on. We got a bodybuilding.com giveaway for you guys. We got a great deal for you guys from bodybuilding.com. They want to send you guys a dope bag full of all protein and different bodybuilding swag. This bag is worth $150 worth of gear. To enter, all I need you guys to do is go to @MarkBellsPowerCast on Instagram and comment on the latest picture with your favorite lifter or athlete that's been on the podcast so far. Again, that's just Mark Bell's PowerCast on Instagram. Let us know what your favorite guest has been. Chance to win some swag.
Is there a hashtag with that?
I've always.
I don't got no hashtags.
I've always been a big
We'll hunt
fan
you down.
of John Anderson whenever we had him on, just because he's fucking funny as hell.
Yeah, he's a little bit in his own
ridiculous.
world.
Obviously, I love Ed Cohn when you have Ed Cohn on. I like a lot of the guys we've had on, but
It's too hard. Everyone asked me that question too.
I
Like,
know,
stone
but
fucking
it-
cold.
I
I got
know.
to talk to him on the phone. That's pretty
Yeah.
ridiculous.
No, he was great. But John Anderson just in here like bending over, picking up his bag, just farting nonstop. I mean, it doesn't get any.
It doesn't really get any better than that. I
No,
agree.
he's just such a Neanderthal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He's kind of like the embodiment of everything that we talk
He
about
is.
and everything that we kind of joke about. And
Is him?
Yeah. He's like a parody of himself, if that's possible.
He both takes himself seriously and not seriously at the same time. He makes fun of himself,
and it just makes it even funnier that he's that much more jacked than everybody.
he is that much more jacked than everybody.
Looks like a goddamn cartoon.
I wonder what he's been doing. I haven't seen much. Is he competing?
I haven't heard much. Haven't heard much about what's going on. But I saw the other day Pete Rubish. The kid's always going absolutely just fucking bonkers. I saw him pull like an 825 deadlift, and he wanted to do it for like multiple reps, but the weights went flying off the side. And he had an interesting quote on his Instagram. He said he went for 825, everything fell off, and the weights actually fell off the side. He said, so I turned it into a bench day. I like that mindset. He's like, fuck this ain't working.
Yeah.
This
Not
is shitty.
today.
I'm going to fucking bench.
Yeah. Well, and especially for
Did you
him.
get on the floor right then and
Yeah.
Floor press it.
Yeah.
Especially for him, though, like where bench is arguably his weakness. He squats pretty damn good. His bench has made improvements.
I think he squatted 730 in a pair of knee sleeves, right?
Yeah, pretty damn good,
And he
too.
smoked it, right?
Yeah. And then his
How does
pull-
he do that with his skinny legs?
I don't know. His back is made of steel. I think from his traps to his behind, he's like Wolverine.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
fucking
adamantine.
Yeah, adamantium back there.
He's got special like fucking steel plates in there.
He's out of his mind.
But then in a couple other videos, I've seen him going bonkers too. I saw him pull
8 for 5, I think.
790 for 6.
Yeah.
And then another one where he's doing 805 for 5.
Yeah. Insane.
And then he did a set of 3, another set of 3, and another set of 2. And he weighs 243. Like, what is going on with this kid?
There's a lot of guys like that, man. They're going fucking nuts right now.
It's what is it? Pete Dot? Is that what it is? Pete
I don't know.
Dot Rubish. Check out his Instagram.
We're going Instagram hunting.
The kid's fucking nuts. We're doing some Instagrammies. He gets the deadlift of the year. I think he pulled 900 recently too, right? He did 900-pound pull in training, right?
Yeah, he pulled 900 in training and 832 in full competition.
He's handling all kinds of crazy dumbbells, 160-pound dumbbells, and he's just going nuts.
Come up with a category, and then I'll go find somebody to win it.
A category for Instagrammies?
Yeah, for our Instagrammies. We talked about having Instagrammies a while ago, ladies and gentlemen, where we just have like Instagrammers and lifters, fitness Instagrammies, and me and Mark present.
Instagrammy like best bench press over the last few weeks.
Yeah, let's see. What
I know who one of my votes would be. It would be Larry Wheels, who just absolutely crushed like a 585 bench, I think.
Let's see what Larry's got.
That kid's always doing some really crazy shit.
He's lifting like a maniac all the time. He pulls like a maniac, too. What's this? 535 for 3, paused. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I saw the other day. Yeah, 535 for 3.
Yeah, Powell.
That beats my best. I was pissed watching that.
Strong.
I did 530 for 3 like a couple months back.
He's way tanner than you, too.
There's
I know.
that. Yeah.
I know.
He's super jacked.
May have something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah, he's yoked.
I don't know who else.
There's a lot of impressive people popping up when you watch some of the IPF worlds. Who was the guy that beat Little Smokey? Or who was the guy that beat Brett? Yeah, John Hack. Kid benches 465. Yeah. What does he weigh? 181.
183, and he's like 6 feet tall. And he's like 22
years
old.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, no. Is he from a parallel universe, or is he Kryptonian?
So.
Or
you know what? I mean, he honestly does look like his muscles are made out of something a little bit different than the rest of us.
No, he's jacked. He kind of looks like Jesse Norris.
Yeah.
He looks like a really tall Jesse Norris.
Like when I saw him benching, I mean, you can kind of just see like the structure of like his arms and stuff. It just looks a little different.
I think he squatted 660.
Yeah.
Pulled 700. Mm-hmm. And he's about 22, 23 years old.
Yeah, it's one of the more amazing
What's cool
performances
about him is we talk shit on a lot of people in federations because mostly because they're like, oh, state Sacramento Thursday record, right? Like all these federations have that bullshit.
Right.
Within the IPF, to even win a junior world record is still pretty legitimate, almost arguably more legitimate than a world record in some other fed.
Yeah.
Right. Because you have these standards to go through. The judging is consistent often, not always, right? So at least there's these loops you have to hang through to get a junior world record or a junior championship in the IPF. John Hack is a junior, but won the Open.
Yeah.
He said, "Fuck this junior shit."
Yeah,
like that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Bench press of the week. Vernon Davis plugging 405 for a few.
Did he really?
That's pretty good.
That is
People
really
talk
good.
shit on all these. Mark and I worked with Jared Leno Jr. is now offensive starting lineman for the Bears.
The Bears.
6'8". I don't know, 330, 40 pounds, just a beast. Obviously, he's in the NF fucking L.
Yeah.
So he'll plug any of you guys. And he benched 315 for a few. And on Mark's Instagram, they're talking mad shit. Oh, I'll bench him. Maybe I should go to the NFL. This guy's an elite athlete. Like, fuck you, dude. If you go face-to-face with him and you guys shove your hands into each other's chests, you're going to go into the next neighborhood.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with his bench press. Like, he's more leverage, faster, and more powerful than you, regardless of his bench press, because he doesn't compete in bench press. So for Vernon Davis to bench 405, I think is huge.
Yeah, no, that's a big deal. When you're playing another sport, and your objective is to just kick ass at that sport and not necessarily just be a meathead lifter all the time.
It's so different.
We got Brooke Wells and her sister coming here. I just saw a picture of those two, and that's a very dangerous Instagram.
They might win some awards.
Yeah, they're gonna win everything. It says cheers to 20 fun 21.
Yeah, they just turned 21. Two
Look
twins.
at that picture. Jesus.
One's a
Christ.
CrossFit stud and one's a track star.
Jesus Christ on a cross.
It kind of looks like me and you, just twins.
Just
being
buddies.
Just a little bit different. One's got different hair.
Her Instagram is blowing up. 365K. Jesus.
Oh, I don't know. Fastest growth might have to go to my girl, the homegirl Amanda Bucci. I talked to Bucci like last year. She maybe had like 50K on there. Let's see what she's at right now. Asmanda Bucci's hustling. Shout out Bucci.
And that Cass Martin is blowing up too.
She's jacked.
She is jacked. 110-pound dumbbells
Yeah.
on the
That's
rows
just
and
wrong.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's really
and she
wrong.
weighs 100 pounds. It looks like.
Yeah, she looks like she weighs $120.
Cass Martin, you pervs out there. This
Yeah.
is Insta perv going on here.
Yeah, Bucci's at 240,000 followers. Well, like
Damn.
within a year, probably. I guess quadrupled. Let's go what Cass is.
It sucks. Can't compete against the ladies.
Yeah, Cass Martin's at 107. She's jacked. She gets a lot of likes. And
She
shit,
was
too.
at like 60. Just the other day, she was at like 60. But yeah, she's yoked as fuck.
Same with the homegirl Natasha.
Oh, Jesse
Gaddour.
Burdick had a couple good posts. I saw one. Let's see, from Keegan. Jim, can you pull some of these up?
Potentially, yeah.
You got the ability. Keegan, what's Keegan's last name?
Dylan,
get to the chopper. Keegan Dillon. Where did he go? I don't even.
Instagram.
Yeah, on the IGs. Oh shit, I lost him. Keegan had a great post where he shows. He shows who's their deadlifter.
That's not the same Keegan Dillon. Can you figure
Jeremy?
out what his actual thing is?
I'll find Keegan. This is great.
There's more than one Keegan Dillon.
Hey, those
in the world.
listening that aren't driving, go along on Instagram with us. Just hop on. But if you're driving, don't. Stick to your Pokemon.
How the fuck do you spell Keegan?
I don't know. I'm spelling it wrong every time.
Oh, it's just with one E.
One E.
Yep. So he has
Keegan Dillon. Yeah, Kegan.
There's a video.
Oh,
of,
it's GAN. Yeah, one G. Okay.
If you go to the video of Jesus Christ, I can't remember anybody's
Here he
name.
is.
Jeremy. How do you say his Villa? Is that his name?
Yeah, I don't know how you say it, but yeah, something of that nature.
If you go to the video where Jeremy
I think it's
Villa is
bottom
lifting,
bottom right. You were just saying.
is to
think
the
it's that
right. Yep. He says the best thing ever because Jeremy pulled like 832 or 826 in a meet sumo, probably the most explosive deadlifter that I think I've ever seen. By the way, especially for a sumo puller, pretty unbelievable. I guess you can't fuck with KK when you talk about conventional pull, but probably the best, fastest sumo pull I've ever seen. But Keegan makes a statement. He said, even those that deadlift over 800 pounds have to take a lap every now and then, especially when they bench. And then it shows this guy getting up off the bench, and he fucking runs right out the door.
He missed
and takes a lap around the building.
Yeah, because he missed a rep.
They're just telling him, take a lap.
He just doesn't. He's
Now,
just gone.
if you check out Jeremy's Instagram, if we go, this is how you get into perv mode.
Yeah, you're going hashtag.
You go from one person to another. So Jeremy
Via
if you
right
go,
there.
Yeah, if you go to Jeremy, scroll down to where he's doing pull-ups.
He doesn't have any followers. Everybody should check him out.
Yeah,
he's a fucking
check
joke.
him out in the middle there where he's doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
And watch this shit that pops out of his goddamn spine from. Look at that.
Oh my god.
What the fuck is going on with his back?
Yeah,
That is
832
ridiculous.
He
He's
has
got
abs
on
in his back. Now watch his hot ass girlfriend get up there, and then he lifts her up by the butt cheeks. This is great. He's like, yeah, sure, you can do a couple.
He's got a big ass smile on.
He's jacked as hell, man.
Yeah, he is. He's not
ridiculous.
short either.
He's got like no mobility. He can't walk. He can't put one foot in front of the other, but he can deadlift 826 like a motherfucker. And he squatted 683, I think, in knee sleeves. That's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen anybody's back ever. I've never seen that before. What did you call it? A backpack? A 6-pack in the front and a backpack in the back?
Thick.
I don't know. It's
It's
weird.
like thick striations in his erector.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's just I don't think that erectors are supposed to work like that.
Yeah. And then if you go on Jesse Burdick's IG, my boy Jesse Burdick, they're doing pin presses the other day. And you scroll down to the third one in the middle there. And Jesse gives you a wonderful presentation of how hard it is to get up off the bench when you're doing pin presses. It's pretty fucking funny. Each guy gets their fat body stuck in there. You ever try to get up off a pin press, Mike?
Yeah.
It's like hard to in the middle.
This
Yep.
one?
It's like playing Twister.
Yeah, he shows you a bunch.
Oh, it's actually from Jeremy's.
Is it from Jeremy's thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's impossible to get out from there because when you do a pin press, you have the weight so low. It's hard to get up off a bench, period. I don't know about you guys, but I got
And
like...
then you're on a regular bench, not a real bench, right?
Keegan and the two-bird salute.
Look at Jesse trying to figure out, okay, if I grab here...
I got to kick my legs.
Remember at the old super training... At the old super training, we were talking about having like a band hanging down to get up
from the
off...
ceiling,
reverse band.
Yeah, to get up off the ground for floor presses and
Yeah,
stuff.
or a rope.
That's pretty good. You guys got to check it out. It's just ridiculous. One fat guy after another trying to get up. How about fat guys benching and their stomach popping out all the time? Is great.
Well,
Can anybody figure this out? Can somebody
Make a
tuck
longer
their shirt
shirt?
in,
So there's-
or can somebody make a crotch snap on the shirt so that
think,
you
a
can
little-
tuck the shirt in and snap it to your
A
shorts?
little bodysuit thing that
Yeah.
snaps together
I
in the
don't know if
crotch.
this was world-
Even if you just snapped it to your shorts would be enough.
I don't know if this was worldwide or just California, but mid 2000s, maybe 2003, maybe 2000 till like 2008 or 9, it started to phase out. But there was something called the tall tee.
Yeah,
The tall tee, extra long,
can help.
made for tall guys, but turned into a hip hop deal. That would be a big help. And then also now, more of a athleisure, fucking high fashion thing. They
High
have
fashion?
they have
Oh.
like a swoop in the front. Have you seen that?
Those look so stupid.
But it's solving our issue here.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
they're more functional than we thought. So it's got like a swoop in the front. That's the front of your thing is like extra long, and then the front.
Rob did it. I saw Rob did
Yeah.
it wearing them.
And then the back of your thing's a little bit extra.
Why is it
long.
that black guys can get away with stuff like that?
Goddamn,
Rob
Rob's
did
got
it.
huge arms. He
They
could,
can
yeah.
just.
He can do
They're
whatever
so
he
much
wants,
more
probably.
fashionable than us. It makes me jelly. Like if I wore that, you guys would be like, "Dude,
Yeah.
go home,
Yeah, it'd be rough.
go home, and take that." Like Mike Rashid always looks amazing. He always looks like $1 million.
Yeah, he probably wears one of those, I bet.
That leather hat that he's always rocking.
Yeah.
If I wear that, it doesn't look
crown
right.
hat.
No,
What does it say on it? Grinding or something? What's it
That's
say?
his crown.
Crown. Yeah, that's exactly right. Did you use the word athleisure just a minute ago?
Yeah, athleisure.
I did not know
Yeah,
that was
mine.
a word.
That's the craze right now. Athleisure.
athleisure.
Athleisure. I am athleisure.
I was just gonna say
I
that
may call this
describes
ep-
your whole life.
Yeah, I'm athleisure.
I may call this episode athleisure just
Yeah.
for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, athleisure.
It sounds so like nose up in the air.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a terrible term, but like the
Mike, are you gonna power lift today? No, I'm gonna athleisure.
the athleisure is awesome though because it basically just gives us an excuse to wear sweatpants in public.
Yeah. So
Oh.
expensive sweatpants.
It's like expensive sweatpants and sweatpants that you could tell aren't actually made for working out.
So, like, when you say sweatpants in public, I'm picturing Fat Dan.
No. So those are actually that's called frat boy look.
Oh, that's just called being lazy.
Yeah, that's called being
Ah,
lazy. These
okay.
are more like $100 sweatpants.
Who else we got going on the IG? What else we got going on? Anybody else doing anything great?
I had a question that came in on Instagram, and I hate when people send me messages on Instagram.
It said, "How much you bench?"
because I never see them. This could have been sent weeks ago. It was sent 4 days ago. I had no idea it was there. This guy's asking about the fact that he can't deadlift now because he strained a testicle.
Oh,
I don't think that's for us to answer.
I don't know.
if we're qualified.
I would. He hasn't been able to deadlift for 6 months because he's strained.
first
a
thing you need to
testicle.
do is call your mom. Have your mom check it out. and she
Or
might
the
know
school
help.
nurse.
Go to a doctor. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Go to a
strained
doctor.
testicle. I got one for you here. Go to BJ Gaddour, Jaddour. I believe it's his first post.
Just a side note. How about goddamn Dan
what's-
Green? He's been going crazy too.
and he looks jacked as shit.
Yeah, did you see him doing the handstand push-ups or
Yeah,
whatever?
He looks like a fucking model.
Shredded.
Do you have the at?
I think it's just BJ at Gaddour. I think on Instagram, if you just type in the name, Gaddour.
G.
He's been lifting like a
DDO.
motherfucker.
And then the first post.
You are?
OUR, yep. French ass name. Is this, can you go,
Yep. Holy shit.
can you go audio on this first one?
Or
is that impossible? Just click on the first one
It's
either
not
way.
impossible. I have to go. I have to stand over there. To
It's
do
not
it.
worth it.
Okay.
But this is still pretty good. Just lighten up your day.
Oh my god.
This, ladies and gentlemen, the director of Men's Health Fitness, just giving us a little short jorts workout.
That's
Yeah,
some
what are
Daisy
those
Dukes.
shorts? Is it like he's got spandex underneath?
I
or-
think he was probably well endowed, and he didn't want to let him loose.
So he was trying
He was
to
playing it safe.
keep it.
Well,
up.
if he's French, it could be. You
I don't
know?
think he's French.
How do people do these videos like this? What is
It's
that?
called Boomerang, I think.
Oh.
I've never actually used it, but I think it does it on.
But it's like
own.
5 seconds.
Yeah, and they'll just repeat.
It's
We've seen it a number of times now.
yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm mesmerized by your glutes, BJ.
Look at those moves.
I know you're listening, BJ and Mike. Mike's the production video guy. Everything for Men's Health listens to all this nonsense for some reason.
Looks
I'm
like
gonna
some
have
of
to follow
these
him just so I can find him again.
some of these lifters are getting ready for the Boss of Bosses meet. I think you got like Dan Green
Yup.
and Pete Rubish
I
and
think a lot of guys are coming out here.
who we mentioned earlier is Jeremy goddamn, what the hell's the kid's name? The kid we started out with the 535 for 3. What the fuck is his name? Williams?
Oh, Larry.
Larry Wheels.
Larry Wheels.
Larry Williams, yeah. I think he's prepping for that too. Be a lot of big lifts going down there for sure. Any fucking way.
Yeah, what else we got? Instagram's the best. His back's pretty gnarly too.
Yeah, there's another incidence of back abs.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit!
Maybe it's the lighting.
I think it's maybe the lean.
Sounds like cops just pulled up. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Yeah, I know.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. They may have. They might be coming for us.
Why is that?
So we got the CrossFit games coming up. That should be pretty cool.
Yeah, heading to Los Angeles.
This is the first time I got a booth at the CrossFit Games, so that'll be interesting to see what the fuck happens with that.
Just a bunch of people tanning. That's what happens in the booth areas.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be so red.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Your boy is doing fucking overhead presses with the goddamn...
yeah. I think he's walking, actually. I don't know what he's
like
doing.
walking lunges or something?
Yeah, he's nuts, man. BJ's cool. He does a little bit of everything.
What do you think of some of that real-world tactical shit that they were throwing down the other day?
Yeah, no thanks.
Brutal, right?
Yeah, he's nuts.
They were picking up like a 200-pound sandbag, and then that looked like the worst of it to me.
Yeah, it was like kind of like an up-down.
Yeah.
Knee up-down.
Yeah, like a little bit of a mini lunge, one side to the other, and then you had to walk with it.
Yeah, and then a weighted carry, and then I think overhead one-hand dumbbell lunge.
Yeah.
That's hard. Anything overhead and moving is
What
really
I thought was
hard.
interesting is like a lot of times it was fast-paced or explosive stuff mixed with longer duration stuff.
Yeah.
That's a real puker. You know, because like to flip a tire, you have to produce enough force to even be able to get underneath that thing and to get the damn thing moving.
Yeah, and it wasn't a small tire either.
No, it's huge. You know, that's always the thing that mesmerizes me. Everyone's always using so much weight on all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I've been lifting for a long time. I've been a proponent of like trying to use less whenever the opportunity presents itself.
I think strongman does that in a sense where strongman typically train with barbells. That's a way for them to get less speed up, right? We'll use less weight or maybe with bands or chains or more repetitions to get less speed up, and strongman train with barbells to get less speed up.
Yeah.
Because if they deadlifted a fucking 1,000-pound tire or a 500-pound stone every single day, they're going to get more jacked up than if they deadlifted 700.
Right. It goes back to something Mark used to talk about all the time, is sort of underloading.
Yeah.
Adjusting the exercise so that you don't kill yourself, but you're still getting a maximum amount of benefit.
Yes, a small example of that would be to use a different barbell. Like if you typically use a deadlift bar, maybe use a regular bar. Maybe that'll make you lift a little bit less weight. Or maybe if that doesn't have that big of an impact, maybe you deadlift with a squat bar. Squat bars are usually a little thicker.
A little harder to hold on to.
Jesse Norris likes to do deficit pulls. He likes to take it a step further, deficit pulls with the fat bar.
Yeah, what a maniac.
And you remember he did like 585 for like 10 when he was here. Fucking savage.
So strong.
He's been lifting pretty heavy again too, and he just started to kind of turn it on out of nowhere. He's like, I'm starting to get in shape again, and he did 3 sets of 15 with 495 or something. I was like, what the fuck is what? I don't understand. How do you just restart with that? I don't understand.
I think USAPL nationals are October, maybe. I don't think they're August. They're one of those months, but they're coming up, so I'm sure he'll try to get back in there and smash some people. Yeah,
that kid's unbelievable. Those of you who aren't following that guy, you make sure you follow him. He's lifting like a goddamn mutant too.
He's out of his mind.
My back to the Instagrammies. My Instagrammy pick of the year has to go to Brooke Wells to me. Her on the bike. That was the greatest picture.
Just
of all
going on a casual ride.
You know, I brought it up in the office and everybody jumped down my throat and they started to refute it, but then I think everyone thought about it a little bit more, and then they were kind of halfway at least agreed. But
it is really hard to choose. There's a lot of options going on and a lot of different...
There's a lot of girls showing their butts. You know, Joe Rogan on his show recently talked about when this whole ass thing started. He's like, I don't understand, you know, when this whole ass thing started. You know, did it start... He's like, it wasn't the 90s.
Yeah.
And he's on there with Joey Diaz, and Joey Diaz is like, I don't know, you know. He's like, I think it's maybe more like the 2000s, you know.
Were the 90s more tits?
It was so funny. Well, I guess
when did fake tits?
Jim might be able to fill us in on some of this from back in the day, but I think like some of the years it was more acceptable for women to be a little bigger, a little bit more voluptuous. Yeah. That may have been the 60s. I'm not sure.
Well, the 60s had Twiggy, and she was the skinniest woman ever, and she sort of set the tone. The 70s, I think maybe there was a little bit more...
a bit more boobs?
A little more boobs, a little bigger ass.
I think 80s were boobs for sure.
When did fake tits start to be the thing? Pam Anderson a part of that? Or
I think...
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I might have been too young.
Late 80s.
Is that Pam
probably.
Anderson, or am I wrong?
Pamela Anderson makes sense.
Or who's the other one? Anna Nicole Smith? She was kind of a titty leader, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's 90s, I think.
Yeah.
And Nicole, they're both Playboy? Baywatch and Playboy?
Yeah.
So that's one was Playboy's Peak. They just sold the mansion, didn't they? That's so sad.
Did they?
I think they sold the mansion,
Son of a
but
bitch.
with a rule that Hef gets to stay there
until he dies.
Yeah, so you buy the house with a
And
roommate.
then they bury him in the grotto.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it was funny that he's talking about like when the ass thing started, and then I actually sent him a clip of when I thought all this started, and I thought it started in 1992 when Sir Mix-a-Lot made
Baby
his
Got Back.
famous "Baby Got Back" song.
Yeah.
I think that was part of it. If you really listen to that song, the words of that song, although they were really funny. The words of that song they hit our culture like a fucking ton of bricks, and they sum up a lot of our culture because it's just it's in a weird way. I know it's a weird way, but in some weird way, it's breaking down some boundaries and breaking down some walls. Saying, hey, look, some people look a little different than other people, but some people find beauty in that.
Yeah.
And Sir Mix-a-Lot in 1992 was ahead of his time.
I think everybody on like a regular level knows that, right?
Right.
Like some guys are into darker skin or lighter skin or thicker or thinner or ass or tits or whatever. It's just media that says, no, this is what you're going to be into.
I heard a great quote that goes right along with this: marry the ass and buy the tits.
Yeah.
Well, in fitness, that's absolutely true because it's difficult to augment the ass.
Yeah.
And all the fitness chicks
but
have
it is happening.
fake tits. Oh, really?
Yeah, the ass is augmenting pretty good.
I've heard a lot of fitness.
Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah, fitness and not are starting to get some work done on their backside, like Instagram world. A lot of people
Brazilian
think
butt
there's fake
lifts.
tits.
You gotta
fake ass.
gain weight first because they gotta move fat around. Yeah.
Yeah, can they not do silicone in your backside?
I think you wouldn't want to sit on it.
It sounds comfy.
I don't know.
You get two cushions everywhere you go.
I think you feel not comfy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just walking around with a big fake ass.
Yeah, I think it's happened. I remember watching MTV True Life, which is just like a half-an-hour reality documentary.
Yeah.
And I don't know when it was, probably early 2000s again. There's one that was on steroids, which was awesome. And then two, there was another one on like fitness and like body.
You're talking about MTV, is that what you said?
Yeah, MTV.
Yeah, I remember that fucking the calf implants.
Yeah.
MTV.
That guy with
That's
the
where I
calf
was going.
implants.
That guy's like, my body's like perfect.
And
like,
he's
I got
walking
great
around
abs.
with a water jug or whatever all the
Yeah,
time.
he's like, he was pretty jacked.
He's from like Jersey or
he
some
was proud
shit.
of everything he had, except he was so
Where
embarrassed.
is that guy? If that guy's listening, reach out to us,
Come
please.
on the show, buddy.
Jesus
He was
Christ.
so
that
embarrassed
great.
of his calves.
Yeah.
He got like, and his biceps are fucking huge. He's fucking jacked. And how do you be so self-conscious? And he had to get calf implants.
Mm-hmm. He's going to the gym like every day, like training his pipes and everything.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
Mark, do you remember T-Nation, T-Mag back in the day, the writer guy that they paid to have his abs etched?
Oh, I heard about that, yeah.
He had basically had
Drawn in a little bit.
pinpoint liposuction that sucked
just
all
around
the
it?
fat
That's
out
great.
around his abs. Yeah.
Get a little tattoo there.
Yeah, people do anything, man.
What about Cisco's song? That might have been part of it too, because if you're wearing a thong and you have a flat ass, it just doesn't
I think
really.
look at that ass or something so scandalous.
Yeah, it just doesn't work, right? Like you need to have some. Your butt has to pop out a little bit. I think it's been all the squats, really.
So that's issue too that we talk a lot
Like
about.
the girls are powerlifting and they're eating donuts and doing squats. Of course, their ass is gonna grow.
Yeah, that's an issue is that we're so deep inside this weird subculture of
Deep
social
inside.
media. You were really deep and really thick inside of this issue
Hashtag deep cheeks.
that we can't be objective about ass and bodies. You know, we're all absorbed in fitness, Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah.
Our
Well,
life.
and we're terrible because we look at,
Surrounded by ass.
I mean,
It's awful.
Yeah, regardless of what you're attracted to, we're looking at men and women by their physical characteristics
time.
all the time.
And
100% of the time.
three of us are fat fucks just judging the rest of the world.
Exactly.
Yep.
Is this even a fitness podcast anymore?
They're not anymore.
I don't even know. I don't even know what we just talked about.
I don't know either.
All I know is I'm glad I have this monster energy because we're gonna do some squats in a little while, right?
A little bit of squats.
What do you got going on with your training? You hit what's this mini max about? You sometimes say mini something like you did
Mini peak.
You did like mini peak, and then one
Mini
time
cut.
you were doing like a mini cut.
Yeah.
What are these mini things?
It's just the opposite of major.
Is it just like
It's similar like M&Ms.
Is it just like just putting your toe in the water, or is it, or are you just swimming around in the kiddie pool and you're thinking about going in the deep end some other time?
I'd say it's a good excuse to fail. Just lead people up.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. It's
Yeah.
like you're not swimming with the sharks. It's not that dangerous.
No.
And if you only hit 365 from one, you would have never spoke of this mini
The
max.
peak wouldn't happen.
Mini peak.
The peak wouldn't happen. Basically, to test my bench in 4 weeks, opposed to do a 16-week peak. So we got a 4 week. Some bullshit like that.
I noticed your spotter had a long beard and just looked kind of gross.
Is his name Smokey?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gross. I walk into the office and his fucking gross little hobbit feet are all over my chair.
His feet?
Yeah, feet. Raw feet. Not socks, not shoes.
That's disgusting.
Raw feet. I put my feet on his desk with shoes, which I think is actually better. What's the worst on there? Some dog shit. Who knows what the fuck's on his raw feet?
No, his actual feet.
I think
fungus
it's
and stuff.
the toenail clipping itself
In the office.
That's
Smokey
an
is
issue.
disgusting. And he yelled at me about feet. He said he hates feet. I said, you hate feet and you act this way. I'm not that grossed out by anything.
See, my brother was disgusting like that. Like he would just like have his shirt off and be all sweaty and gross, and then he would just like sit there and like you're talking to him, he'd just like start clipping his toenails.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's like
weird.
I don't just go do it
Bathroom.
somewhere.
Yeah, the bathroom.
Somewhere, anywhere else, but like right in front of me while we're having a conversation.
Weird shit.
He's like, "What's the problem? Why are you getting all mad?" I'm like, "I'm not mad. It's just gross."
Yeah, weird shit's supposed to happen in the
What the
bathroom.
fuck are you doing?
Mad Dog?
Yeah, mad dog. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's weird.
And he's like,
Smokey's like that,
what's
I think.
something else? I remember he used to like hang up his shirts because he's always sweaty. Like hang up his shirt to
dry?
like dry it out and to put it back on. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's pretty
why
gross.
don't you just like get a new shirt?
Yeah, that seems like a little bit of a fat guy move.
Total fat guy move.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, you just wash it.
Yeah, something.
Shirts are cheap. You
Something.
can buy like a $3 shirt at a gas station.
Yeah.
Something different than trying to air it out.
Yeah.
Or at least just don't let people know about your little weird habits that you got going on. Keep it a secret or something.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. I don't. Nothing really grosses me out, but bad smells are bad.
Yeah, that's gross. What'd you do for the mini peak? Anything in particular? Did you try to set up for it in some way, or just the last couple weeks you
just a little program? Just try to plan ahead a little bit.
Because you're doing a little bit more cardio stuff, right?
Just twice a week. I've been trying to implement some strongman shit. So basically, just
Strongman. Are you Brian Shaw?
Trying to
Hap
be-
Thor Bjornsson?
I'm doing the same thing. What about Zavickas? I think he had to pull out.
Yeah.
I know.
Like
that sucks.
Yeah,
That's not a very
injury.
manly thing to do. Pull out.
Yeah, injury.
I heard he got hurt. Yeah, I don't know what he hurt. Hammies and backs seem to go on these guys all the time.
Yeah, they go nuts.
Yeah.
When's that? A couple weeks?
Yeah.
August?
It's in August, I think. Yeah.
And we're mid-July.
What about goddamn Eddie Hall? We didn't talk about that.
1102.
1102. However,
1111. 1102. 1102.
isn't the deal that he was wearing a suit?
He may have been,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think he's wearing a suit and straps.
Yeah, I don't care.
Right. I don't care either, but a lot of people
hate him.
have a shit on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's look it up. I don't know if he was wearing a suit.
I think he was.
I think that you were allowed to wear a suit, so he probably was wearing one.
Yeah. They're looking for the biggest weights in that competition.
I
so-
do also think that if he was wearing a suit, the straps may have been down, just from like what I could see.
Yeah.
And then also, which who even cares about any of that?
He almost died.
Yeah. The other element to it is it appeared that he didn't have a belt on. So
So last year he pulled 1,000 something, and he had no belt.
1,025, 1,030, yeah.
Yeah, I think he had no belt also. Maybe that's just his cup of tea. But then you would think like even bottoms down strapped suit would be less without a belt, yeah?
Why
kinda
do I have
keep
to
'em up?
watch that. I don't have to watch that.
Yeah, suits, they I don't know, a suit can help.
I got condoms coming up on my...
A suit can help a lot,
fuck.
but with the straps down, the suit's not going to do a ton.
Yeah.
Jim knows what's up. Jim's been in some of these suits before.
Yep.
Mike, you've been in briefs before, I think,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So
Deadlift suit once, I think, but briefs a bunch.
yeah, a pair of briefs really is not going to do.
Kind of conventional. At least
I guess he could potentially have the suit on all the way up, straps up,
Under?
and have that
And his
shirt,
shirt
over
over.
top.
I don't think so. I don't think he'd sit in that position so long.
That's probably true, but I don't know. There was
Looks like just like a t-shirt and maybe some briefs.
it looks
man.
like briefs.
I actually think this pull was cleaner than his pull last year.
I agree with you.
Yeah, he hitched a little harder. Not that that's against the rules, but he
It's a
did hitch a little harder last year.
Beautiful deadlift.
Yeah. My biggest thing is not suits or straps. Obviously, it depends on the competition and the rules. My thing is like when strongmen pull from elevated surfaces and they
Right.
freak out. You know, like they pull 1,200, but it's from blocks. Yes, it's
Or it's the
1,200
big-
pounds,
yeah.
but that's
tires
not.
and shit.
When it's tires, it's not the biggest deadlift of all time. This is
No.
the biggest deadlift of all time.
Yeah.
This is deadlift bar,
Yeah, the
competition
Hummer-
plates off the ground.
The Hummer tire deadlift, I think the best ever is 1147. So,
No way, really?
So it shows you like this is getting close.
That's
you know?
pretty insane. I wonder what Eddie would do on that. Some people, maybe you do less. I mean, some people do less on blocks.
Yeah, it is a weird.
That's a great pull, though.
It just it just comes off the ground so fast. It looks like the bar is not like. It looks like the bar doesn't really stand a chance of.
I know. I think it's just a regular deadlift bar. Someone asked me, I forgot who. Oh, what kind of deadlift or bar do you think they used? I think they just used a deadlift bar.
Yeah, from what I heard, they have a little bit of a specialty bar, but
a little whippier maybe.
I don't know, that platform.
Oh, it looks legit, man.
The platform looks like it's probably 10 feet instead of 8 feet, and then the bar is probably 8 feet, which would be a normal sized deadlift bar. But that has a lot. I mean, there's a lot of weight on there, so who knows about the fucking whip and
the
stuff.
whip doesn't look that insane. There's
no
600 pounds on each side,
Yeah.
550 pounds.
And
on
he's
each side?
he's so his feet are so wide, his arms are so wide.
Yeah, it's insane.
He's got a lot of goddamn.
He's not that tall either compared to some of these strongmen.
No, I got a picture with him at the Arnold this year.
Those of you guys that like strength, I mean, you got to support stuff like this. This is like legendary shit. Like, who knows what'll happen now? I mean, maybe somebody else will hit 1100, but this is the first guy to ever do it.
Yeah, who else was at this competition? Is this the big one in the UK?
Yeah, a lot of the guys were there. Hapthor Bjornsson was there, and Benedict Magnuson, who has the all-time biggest powerlifting deadlift.
Yeah.
But Jim and I had the luxury of being at the first. We saw the first ever 1,003 deadlift that was ever done in New York. Where were we in New York? I forget.
Lake George.
Lake George. Yeah, we saw Andy Bolton hit 1,003 deadlift.
That's insane.
Andy Bolton has been very supportive of Eddie Hall's deadlift.
You got to be. You got to be. There's nothing you can. I mean, what are you gonna? What are you gonna do? It was an impressive lift. That guy is an absolute beast, and I think if you're into strength, you're just forced to at least, maybe you don't like all these different guys that are doing these different things, but you're at least forced to applaud the fucking effort that these guys are putting in. 1,100 pound deadlift is just unbelievable. Pete Rubish, doing 805 for 5. I just did 615 for 5, and I was excited.
Yeah.
He did 805 for 5.
That's insane. What's
He could do 200 pounds more than me, and he weighs a lot less, and he's a lot leaner.
biggest
Like,
squat
what the
in
fuck?
reps right now? 1048?
Yeah, just people are going crazy.
Yeah.
So that's Zahir with 1048 or something? Am I
I think
wrong?
so. That sounds about right.
Eric's back smashing pretty good.
Yeah, Milanichev is.
Milanichev's always smashing.
Yeah, Milanichev's getting strong again.
I wonder if he's doing bosses. He did it last year.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's just insane to see the level of strength that people are able to push to. Anyway, I think we should drop off here. You guys got anything else to say?
I think that's all we got, man.
I guess all we got this time.
Maybe time to squat.
Time to go eat some food or something? I don't know.
Yeah, there's buckets full of candy in the other room.
Yeah, why is everybody
Smokey's
so
office.
flat?
Last thing
Everyone keeps bringing us donuts.
I know. We need to
what's
stop
going-
telling the world. We need to start showing the world that we eat carrots, and then people will bring us carrots.
Bring us some apples.
Yeah, they'll do it.
All right, well, that's it from us. Multiply your hustle, multiply your muscle, and may all your shits be tapered. I'm at Mark Smellybell on Instagram and Twitter. Later.
Big shout out to all our sponsors, 8Man Strong Apparel at 8manstrong.com, bodybuilding.com, all your supplement needs, Urban Ice Organics to connect your mind and body, Natural Organics, that's ORGANIX.com. For all your pre-training caffeines, head over to CamaraCoffee.com. That's Camara with a K and coffee with a K. Increase your bench press, howmuchyourbench.net. Power Magazine, the only strength magazine on the planet, available in both digital and print at thepowermagazine.com. I'm Silent Mike, 2Ks, Instagram and Twitter.
I'm Jim McD, STTV. Everywhere that I want you to find me, follow the show on Instagram. We are at Mark Bell's PowerCast. We're out. Mark Bell's PowerCast is a production of supertraining.tv.